Should I get the lights on? Can y'all hear me? What's it sound like? Yo, mic check, 1, 2. Mic check, 1, 2. What is this? Mic check, 1, 2. What is this? I can't hear me yet. Let's see how the lights go. Lights, please. So dramatic. Yeah. Oh, that's what happened. It moved mad up. Who did that? Come down some? Deem some. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that. I apologize. Damn, B. Why did y'all move the Actually, I ran. Let me put my headphones on. I ran dead into that bitch. I walked right into it. What's going on, beautiful people? My name is Kasabian Lavoe. Welcome to the Kasabian Lavoe Show. I'm stoned. Yeah. It's going to be a groovy show. Why does it feel dark? Does it look dark in here? Ooh, intensified. It's a bit much, bro. It's a bit much, bro. Thank you. My bad. Y'all can see all that? See, I don't like that. Somebody moved the whole shit. Was that me? Did I do that? My bad. I'm sorry, y'all. I feel like I'm reaching, and I shouldn't have to reach. Oh, is there a huge lag? What? All right, so it's going to be a nerdy podcast because I'm just going to talk about a podcast that broke up and an update on gas and what's going on right now with gas and another update also on I told myself I would stop clapping. Another update on people not going back to work. That's like the new pandemic. Now it's like, hi, this is Dollar General and nobody wants to work at this shitty place no more, so we're closed forever. Or hey, this is that one Popeyes that everybody fucking hates. We're done, son. So this is amazing. Let's dig in. Let's talk about it. Is the mic like right? God, I don't know why I feel like I'm off today. I promise you, I'm not off. Am I off? Susan, am I off? W sigh. Remember to listen to the music of the show. You have to head over to Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you listen to podcasts. I'm pretty sure we're there, but go to Apple. Give us a review, please. We'd appreciate that. We encourage you to leave a review. If you like it, subscribe on YouTube, like it, share it, tell somebody about it. That's the best way to support this machine because we're growing. We're like in the baby stages of like taking over things. And I want to do a new tagline, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes today. Damn, I feel like there's a huge lag. I'm sorry if there is. But anyway. Today's song is Young Bloodz, Damn. And I got a joke today. At the end of the pod, if you listen to Joe, he goes, I ain't fucking ask you to come to the hospital, motherfucker. And I was like, oh shit, it hurt. That shit hurt. I guess that wasn't a joke. I always do the hands because that's the only thing y'all can see. So like any footwork would be so pointless. It's an old man move. Hey. Hey. They'll turn my shit off, yo. I bet you I'm breathing heavy as shit. Bitch, I'm for sure with it. Oh. So aggressive. Oh shit, what'd that do? My bad. It's Kasabian Lavoe. Wow. What's going on, beautiful people? My name is Kasabian Lavoe. Welcome to the Kasabian Lavoe Show. We're live from Las Vegas. This is episode 169. 189. Que puñeta te pa. Yo, wake up. Welcome to the Kasabian Lavoe Show. This is episode 189. Live from Las Vegas. It was literally 114 degrees today. I could see the smoke coming off the car when I walked to the car, and Vegas is back. Oh, we are so back. That's pretty much it. I don't got no ads this week because we have a new sponsor that we're going to be talking about. There's actually two new sponsors. We got two new sponsors we're going to be talking about. Chia. And I just didn't want to do it today because, like, honestly, I'm just so upset. Like, if you know anything about podcasts, the Joe Budden podcast is probably, one of the reasons why we have so many podcasts in the urban atmosphere. And when I say urban, yes, I'm talking about us. I don't know any other way to describe us. But because of the Joe Budden podcast, there's a bunch of other people that were inspired to get into this space and this atmosphere. And honestly, nobody has done it the way they've done it. Like, there's nobody out there that captures the essence of no, we're not sponsored by Pornhub. Thank you. Not yet. Yo, you know what? Let me stop for a second. There's a porn star I'm trying to get on here, and I'm not sure if she's watching, but I'm trying to get her on here. I don't even know if I wanted to come on as a porn star. Like, she said that she has a foul mouth and like she's a comedian. I'm like, yeah, that's fucking perfect. Like, for this show, are y'all kidding me? And we might just keep her off screen so you don't even see her. So we'll see. I should tell y'all her name so y'all could like spam, like blow her up and be like, yo, Lavo said what's good. She was like, I'm gonna be in your city, and I was like, oh shit, pull up. She's like, all right, but you know I got a mouth. I'm like, that's great. I like potty mouths. That's what makes the show go by. Anyway, but yeah, we have new sponsors, and there's a huge ripple going on right now in podcasting, and I think a lot of it has to do with like the fast forwarding of the whole COVID lockdown, right? And we'll get into that. So, gas is a commodity that people don't play by. Like, do you understand that it's fuel? It can cook, it can heat your food, keep your house warm, move your vehicle, it can transport you. Gas is not something to play with. When these gas lines were hacked, and we spoke about them in the last episode, it was a big deal, but I thought we had a better grasp on what was going on. We don't. We have none. And people are freaking the fuck out. This is not like toilet paper. Like, the difference between toilet paper and this is that, first off, toilet paper, the whole toilet paper scare thing, that was just stupidity. Gas is not to play with. Like, this is a really, really, really big deal. And this shit might spread throughout the whole country, and it's going to cause a fucking problem. We already have had gas shortages here in Las Vegas. We still don't know what the fuck is going on. Right? Like, if we're already having shortages before the issues are going on, what the fuck is going on? Right? There's obviously a problem. There's going to be a big, big boom coming soon. Like, you can see an issue on the horizon. Like, none of this shit is making sense. It's chaos. It's fucking chaos. Jobs. There seems to be businesses that can't even open because nobody wants to work for them. Although people think that unemployment pays as much as it paid during COVID, that's not a thing. Remember, they were getting a bonus check to get by because of COVID, so it was unemployment plus the 600 or the 300 or whatever it was wherever you were. But nonetheless, they keep on showing these numbers as to why people don't want to go back to work, in which they're right. A lot of people just don't want to go back to work for fucking pennies. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, if you look around, jobs have not been able to increase. And I honestly can't wrap my mind around it. Why can't jobs increase prices to kind of combat inflation? Because it doesn't make sense. Oh man, I know this gets so fucking touchy because when it comes to economics and feelings and shit, you get looked at crazy. But listen, hear me out. If I, the millionaire, have to spend more money now because food costs more, that means whoever is the lesser of, meaning whoever makes less money than me, not lesser as a person, just whoever makes less, that spends the same amount on food now, that's going to be magnified by so much more for them because it's going to take a bigger chunk out of their fucking money, right? Why can't we pay more? Like, why can't we budget that in the businesses? Like, why is it that as many things that have changed amongst time, business does not seem to catch up with wages? Like, although everything else has changed, like, you know, rent costs more, like your expenditures are more, your hopefully your income is higher because you're selling products at a faster rate. There's a lot less overhead too, because today you can do drop shipping. I mean, there's 5 million ways to run your business today that you should be able to pay people more so that it doesn't seem like they necessarily need this living wage bullshit, but like a real correction. Like, I just don't feel like we're in a decent spot. Like, it sucks that you work a full weeks of work and you really have to like just not live life. Like, that shouldn't be forever. And yes, the solution is, work through it and you progress. Now, some people can't get out of that hole for a bunch of reasons, but nonetheless, a lot of these businesses aren't really paying, in if you compare what a gallon of milk is today to what a gallon of milk was fucking 20 years ago to what it was 30 years ago, like, it really starts to blow your mind, because wages don't go up. Like, that shit don't move. Yeah, the minimum wage thing, I have a huge problem with minimum wage, because once the government gets involved, then they start to fuck up the market. It's not a free market anymore. See, if we had a free market, none of this fucking minimum wage shit, right now, everybody that says, I don't want to work for this little amount, this is when you get to negotiate. You say, this is what we want. These are our demands. Then these companies are going to have to sit down and say, okay, in order for us to operate, we need people. People are a product, and we're going to have to pay this product as such. Listen, it is what it is. Like, this is, the sad truth when it comes to economics. Yeah, people are a product, but if you're not paying them suffice, what do you expect is supposed to happen when people really look and go, yo, I'm not going to work 40 fucking hours, 45 hours, 50 hours a week, miss my entire fucking family's growth right in front of my eyes, beat myself all the way down for a job that'll drop me in 2 seconds. In 2 seconds, they'll fucking fire you. It's real. There's no job security. And I'm not saying that these businesses are supposed to give you job security, but what I'm saying is that the sacrifices that are made for people that are making these minimum wage jobs, the same sacrifice they make, somebody that's making a 6-figure, 7, 9-figure, 10-figure job is making the same sacrifices, but they're living a way better life. How do we fix it? I don't know. I pay commission because I feel like that's the best way to pay people. Here's what you've earned. Like, I spent X amount of money. This is what I get paid out of this, and I'm going to give you this percentage for what was made on this. I don't see how that's a bad thing. I'm providing everything. I mean, it's right in front of you. It's clean cut. To me, it's the best way to operate. And again, people are products, so we just have to find a good way to take care of our people, because rents keep going up. Housing prices keep going up. Cars keep going up. The more expensive cars get, it blows me away. Like, your standard SUV is a $100,000 vehicle. This is a huge fucking country. First off, everybody's overweight, so SUVs are just convenient for so many people. The fact that a decent SUV is going to cost you upwards of $60,000, which is going to put you at like a $500, $600, $700, $800 car note, or a lease, or whatever it is you got to do because you got to keep up with the Joneses, right? What is that supposed to do to the pocket then? Because like, even when it comes to money disparities, the big differences between millionaires and your middle class or your low class is just how they spend. Like, I haven't bought a new truck in probably 6 years. There's no need. I can go buy a new Escalade. I could buy the Tesla. That's not a thing. It's just, for what? My truck works fine. So what? It ain't new. I don't care, but I got the bread to go do it. Like, when I got rid of having a big ass car, I was like, yo, I want a small little race car. This shit was last year. I said, I want a small little race car. That's all I want. Something low key, something calm. Cash. My truck, cash. I don't spend no money on it. Now, a family today has to go get an SUV because they have 2 or 3 kids. They don't fit in the fucking car. You know what I'm saying? Like, all the kids are big as shit. So you got to have room. That family's now spending $700, $800 a month on a car. That puts me ahead. Every month I'm making money. They're spending $700, $800 plus insurance, gas. What if the car breaks? Because new cars ain't shit. New cars break all the fucking time. All the time. The most expensive cars I've ever had always fucking break. Nah, I'm not flexing. I'm not flexing. It's just it's certain ways to live in life that will put you like time. Honestly, this whole thing comes into time. Even the subject with Joe Budden and everything. Time is a huge factor in everything. Like, let's just keep it a buck. Time is gonna show you who was fake and who was real. Time is gonna show you, effort. Time is gonna show you work ethic. Time is gonna show you who was really meant to do these things and who wasn't. Right? And the reason why this is where I draw a blank, a complete fucking blank. The reason why I love that time is something that we can use, all of us can use, is that no matter what the economic status is, or economic status, whatever the fuck the proper terminology is, or whatever the pronunciation of the word is, we can all use time as a determining factor of where we sit in life. Like, and that's it. And that's why economics is so difficult when they say, oh, there's a wage gap. There really isn't. It's a time thing. You have to compare yourself to a person at the same age, same time, same work length, same, like, it's so many variables that you just can't match them. So it's completely impossible. So it's really not a thing. But at 19, you're starting. You're going to spend so much money to get started. You have to buy a living room, a bedroom, a mattress, the TVs, the this, the that. You're going to spend more money than a person that's been living in a spot for 3 years. It just happens. So the person that's been in the spot for those 3 years is going to accumulate more wealth. Time will determine where you end up. So these minimum wage jobs, the problem is that people put too much time into the wrong place, the wrong job, the wrong thing. Now, certain places you can live with these certain jobs and live great lives. Don't let the fucking internet fool you. You can work at a goddamn Piggly Wiggly and live in a house with some property and some nice cars. That's a real thing. Like, I don't ever discourage people working. Like, that's crazy. Like, go to work. It's good for you. Trust me. Like, when you accomplish things, that's probably the best thing you can do as a person. Now, when Joe Budden podcast, I guess periods in pop culture that could have collapsed what that podcast stood for, but they were able to always pull through because of their chemistry. Now, we fell in love with the Joe Budden podcast because of their transparency and the way that they spoke about the industry. It was different. You just didn't hear these conversations out loud. These are conversations that, if you're from the industry, you're used to hearing in the back. Most of these things weren't brought to the front, and the honesty in music was refreshing, and that definitely changed, and many other things changed in the podcast that made things feel different. My lips are really dry. I'm sorry. In 5 years, they went from being like the number one podcast all over the world to getting an exclusive deal, to being the first podcast to get an exclusive deal, to being, like, basically they're pioneers in so many things. And it seemed that they figured out how to start a team with friends and money, which is crazy. My whole life, all I've tried to do is have friends and make money with friends. I don't know why it doesn't fucking work. It's so goddamn strange. Joe looked like he figured it out. He started a show with two people that were his homeboys, and it was so good because the chemistry wasn't forced. Like, a lot of these shows that you see have a lot of forced chemistry on them. And unfortunately, hold up, I gotta put fucking chapstick on. Those damn dabs. Those goddamn dabs. I'm sorry. Like, if I can get the camera on this side, it'd be hilarious. Anyway. Hold on. It's not easy to get good chemistry. Like, when I started this show, it was 4 people. Didn't work. The first fucking episode fell apart. One person showed up. That's how bad it was. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. Like, y'all understand that we can build off of this and do things, right? Like, my goal was always, let's come together and then, like, blow it the fuck up, right? Like, let's do mad shit. Joe had the idea for this network and blowing things up. And what you started to see was the difference between a creator and somebody that was just doing a job. This is just being honest. Corona sped up a lot of careers in podcasting, entertainment, and talking head things. Like, this is an art. Like, there's a certain type of brain that it takes to do this. and really be captivating, fucking use proper tones and know how to use inflection and do the pauses and the hands, and there's so much shit to it. It's a fine art. It really, really is. But Corona fast forwarded a lot of careers that weren't gonna last. And the Joe Budden podcast has always had a beef with Charlemagne, right? Charlemagne has a podcast, The Brilliant Idiots, with Andrew Schultz. Andrew and Rory always beef because they're the white boys of the podcast. The difference between Rory and Andrew is that Andrew's a legitimate comedian that's like on the road and does things and he writes and he has a team. And then you got Rory, who's just the industry dude that is funny. There's a big difference. Like, Andrew's a talent, Rory's a fill-in. Like, it is what it is. I love Rory to death, but Rory isn't a talent. He didn't care for it. You could tell. Now, that speaks volumes. Like, you gotta use this shit. Nah, chill out. Andy ain't none of that. I'm just saying, Andrew, to me, is a legitimate talent. That's it. All this other nonsense you speak of in the chat, you can keep that to yourself. We are not here for that. Head over to YouTube to see what he's talking about if y'all don't see it. When Corona hit, everybody wanted the podcast, right? Like, everybody jumped on this podcast shit. Clubhouse is dead. You want to see how Clubhouse pandered to everybody? When Clubhouse was popping, they put a black dude with an afro and a guitar on their fucking app's cover, who happened to be some random dude in the app. Like, they were just pandering, bro. And everybody was on there thinking they had a fucking podcast. They thought that they had a fucking a talk show. They were giving life coach advice. I mean, literally everybody on there was a pro. Nobody on there was like, yo, I'm just starting, or I have no followers. Like, I love saying I got 156 followers. It might be more though. I'm not really good at keeping up with it because I hate looking at it because it hurts my feelings. So in my head it's like 5 million, but right now it's like 100. We need more. So we encourage you to like and subscribe. Anyway, the chat's going crazy for Andy Schultz. I like him. I think he's cool, man. I think he's cool. I appreciate that he is, well, he's a talent. Yes, Andy is an employer. Or is employee? No, he's an employer because he has employees. So, yes, that does make him a boss, as opposed to Rory and Maul. And I mean, but still, this is perfect. I mean, these gems you should see, like, before you jump into business with friends, you have to make sure the passion's the same. I have these conversations with my kids all the time. Like, stop letting your friends influence what you want to do with your life, because it might not work out that way. Like, both my sons have now come to me telling me they want to be fashion designers. Both of them don't know what the fuck a fashion designer is, and what they want to be is graphic designers, and don't comprehend that they don't have that. Like, I'm sorry, I'm an honest parent, because we were lied to. We were told that we could do whatever the fuck we wanted to. That's not true. Us 80s babies got fucking lied to. You can only do what you're good at. You can learn certain things, but you're only going to be good at what you're good at. It is what it is. Now, I love the idea that you want to be a fashion designer, son. Where'd you come up with this? Oh, my friend. Bro, that shit's crazy. Rory and Maul were I want to be a podcaster, and then somebody goes, where'd you want to come up with this? Oh, my friend. But it worked. It was fucking amazing. I'm not mad at Joe. I'm mad at Joe for not giving us this information sooner. We didn't see disgruntled friends. What we saw was disgruntled employees that have lost a friendship. And if Joe would have, honestly, bro, when I look at Joe, I fucking, come on, I copy one of his album covers. Lyrically, there's very few people that reach his level. Joe is different. Joe's brain is different. Does he fuck up a lot of shit? Yeah, because different people fuck up different shit. Like, it's just, when you don't follow that regular course, you're gonna do things differently. In time, Joe has gone from like a ticking time bomb to this almost this new aged CEO boss. Now, is he doing it right? I don't know yet. We're gonna find out. He might not do this right. He might fuck this all the way up to the end. Who knows? But nonetheless, this is a creator that's become a CEO that hopefully will continue to lean towards the creator in some form or fashion that'll continue to keep the creator afloat. amongst proprietary through their life. Because honestly, no, yo, chill out, bro. Chill out. The chat, I swear to God, the chat. Hold on, we're gonna get to all that. Um, the fact that Joe fired them on like the show is what really fucked me up. Like I was like, oh wow, like he's really mad. Parks is a fucking sucker, and he's always been a sucker. But whatever, that's cool. Like I love Parks. This is a nerdy podcast about podcast drama. Yo, when Marissa got fired, I remember how butthurt fucking Rory was. Something happened between Rory and Joe. Like they fell the fuck out because they was really homies, bro. Like that shit that Joe said at the end of the podcast really hurt my feelings. When Joe said, "I didn't ask you to be there at my child's birth," like what? The fuck you mean? Why you say that? That shit's hurtful, bro. But that's Joe. Joe be on that shit. I really do wish they were there in person. I think that would have been best. I think that would have been the best content we would have seen in some time because those conversations should be had out loud in front of people. Those awkward conversations. That is a fucking awkward conversation that should have been had. But with time, we've seen that this podcast game is, one, not easy. This podcast game is very difficult to basically create content when there's no content. And if you survived out of the corona pandemic bullshit and you were able to make content and keep people excited, like I have people that DM me all the time. Like I wish I would shout out the people that I talk to. Like I made legitimate friends. Like, bro, I really talk to Kevin like every day. Like I have fans that have become friends. This is real. Like I do talk to them. Like my assistant is in there too, but like we get mad DMs. See, the problem is that I get more listeners than viewers and it doesn't correlate. So I'm working on it. I can't, it's still new. I'm good. This is a time game. We survived. Now it's time to grow. And that's what we're doing day in, day out. We're getting bigger and bigger. We're figuring out this content game. Now, you know why I don't blame Ack? It's another time thing. Because when Ack started beefing with Rory, that shit was like a personal thing that could have been dealt with on a very personal level. They could have had a conversation or just threw hands. And like I was talking to Kevin earlier, bro, it looked like Rory and Ack fought, and basically Rory got beat up. Joe was there, some shit from what Joe alluded to. And then Rory started taking Taibo classes. And, now he want to throw hands with everybody. You can't blame Ack for exposing weaknesses. Like, Rory was going around saying he wasn't happy with his pay. Why not tell Joe? Who you talking to? Like, that's where shit starts to bother me because you want a clear and open relationship when it comes to business like this. But then you got to play boss. And you got to really separate yourself from the people around you, which sucks because that starts to destroy the dynamic. I've even said, like, when I wanted to start this this podcast network or just network of variety infotainment, that's what I want to do. I want to have like a digital Vegas platform where I have comedians, I have sports bettors, I have your news people, I have shows like mine, sitcoms, things like that. Like that's something I want to do, and I really would love to get it off the ground, except I need to get myself at a certain level that shows that, okay, here's something that I've created and I'm able to grow off of it. Joe had that same idea and told Maul, do this show, do that show, and he never did. And I always wondered why he didn't. And the time thing fucking hit me in the face today. I'm like, bro, all that talk, all that I'm real this, I'm real that, I do this, I do that, I'm about my shit, yada yada. Are you? Because you have more than enough time to start your own shit, hire a crew, start filming, get content out there. You could have really created your own lane, which, I mean, whoever fucks with me, I hope you start your own shit. I don't want to see you forever. I want you to be around me for as long as we need to be around each other, and then you book it and do your thing. That's it. Like, I have no room for wanting to, you can't get attached in this shit. You really can't. People grow, man. Shit changes. It really does. Like, look at motherfuckers who sat next to each other for 5 years. Hate each other. Fuck that. That's a headache. Starting this damn network, I had people flaking before they even started. I'm watching how they moving. One disappears, one this, one that, and I'm like, you know what? I'm over it. I'm not gonna invest my money or my time into people that are not as passionate as me. So until I can find people that are that passionate, I don't see how I could grow my network. And good luck to Joe. That shit seems hard as fuck. With people like Rory and Maul, unfortunately, they will all talk. Time showed that they will all talk. They talk shit about Charlemagne, how Charlemagne wasn't doing this, Charlemagne wasn't doing that. Charlemagne has continued the Breakfast Club. He's done 2 books. He's done this. He's done that. Movies. Charlemagne is doing fine. Andrew, he's done a Netflix deal, his fucking podcast, his Patreon. He's on tour. Dude is doing fine. $1 million worth of game. Gillian Rollo, is it Rollo? I don't fucking watch it. They're fucking doing fine. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, y'all shitted on everybody, but everybody else is doing good. Like, everybody y'all shitted on doing good. The ones that fell off, and we all knew they was gonna fell off. But the ones that were thorough, that got shit done, y'all ain't do shit about that. Y'all ain't do shit. Man. Like, there's a lot of things that could have been done. Like, bro, Rory could be doing all types of, like, fucking hippie indie music shit. He could have been, like, the new Kurt Loder. Maul could be interviewing all the ball players and football players, do like a sports pull up. Like, that shit would have been dope, man. Content, bro, it's what people want. Like, if you invest in yourself and you're able to give something to the people, man, that's the best way to fucking, like, if you're able to entertain, you can really make money for the rest of your life. I'm not saying you should do it though. It's a pain in the ass, and it's a very terrible way to live, because you really don't know where your next paycheck is coming from. And that's what the fight is with a lot of us content creators, right? How do we sustain? This shit is hard. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of money. How do you sustain? Rory and Maul were under the impression that they were owners. Unfortunately, they were employees. They were not there from day one. Anybody that knew the show knew that they weren't from day one. It's not a thing. Maul neither. Maul's definitely not day one. Joe feels like he, the podcast is just the pinnacle of his life. It's not necessarily just a podcast. And you know what? He's entertaining, bro. I think you can put Joe in a room with two regular ass people, and you'll have an entertaining thing. Like, you'll have something to watch. Really, I think it's something that should be said for Joe. Like, I if I haven't said this, let me say this over and over. I talk shit about people that do good because people kiss their ass and never like you have to critique them when they fuck up. Joe fucked up by not telling us what happened right away. He should have just said something. Either way, man, it sucks. It felt like somebody died today, bro. Like, dead ass. When I heard it, because I listened to it on Apple and it cut off. Like, they pulled the episode. Then I had to go to Patreon and listen to the episode. But it took some time. There was like a gap. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And he was in a real spicy part of the fucking pod. And then everything else kept going. And he just fired him and shit. And I was like, damn, bro, did I just see that shit? Like, it felt like people got beat up in front of me, bro. And I couldn't help them. Like, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, head over to the Joe Budden Podcast on Apple Podcasts. There's a link to the Patreon. But on there, you get a 30-minute teaser of what went on today. And, it was a lot of things that it spoke in volumes as to how business should be handled. And you know what? Honestly, you should never have the same attorney as somebody that you work with, especially in entertainment. Just don't do it. It's not a good look. It looks like you're teaming up. And then that attorney, I mean, he's in it for himself at that point. I don't know. That one's tough, especially coming from those two. There's a lot of things that came up today that honestly, if we would have known this, I would have been okay with it right away. And for all you new content creators, be careful who you create with. Make sure you understand what ownership is. Invest in yourself. That shit's expensive, but it's worth it. I'm going to go play video games with my friends. I upgraded my headphones, so I'm so excited. My name is Kasabian. Live in the moment. Don't live in the past. Be safe. Stay dangerous. Lavoe loves you. Hold on. Watch. One.